All right, well, local growers are using both science and imagination to breed new varieties of fruit that we can all enjoy.
Michael Marks joins us live from Modesto with more on these happy hybrids.
Yeah, this is H469. It looks
okay.
to me like an almond tree, a self-pollinating almond tree, but all fruits and nuts start out, their name is a number. Like MN 1711. That became Minnesota's own Honeycrisp apple. But they all start out with a number. I'm going to show you those numbers coming up. But in here, in this room, Floyd Zeiger created it's Club Med for all these trees. It's 68 degrees in here, 60 degrees. It's perfect. All the kids are up and working. Oh, my goodness. Leith, what are these kids now doing?
These kids are now cutting the flowers that we've collected open and straining out the anthers, so we'll have the pollen ready for tomorrow. We'll dry those anthers under lights tonight, and they'll be dry and ready to go and to be put into bottles by tomorrow morning.
So in one season, your dad, 60 seasons, 60 springs, he did this, right? And so you have tons of bottles like this, is that right, over the years?
Over the years, we have tons of bottles. We probably have about 600 bottles every spring.
Wow. Floyd Zeiger, by the way, patented more than 420, get this, more than 420 different varieties of peaches, plums, nectarines, and nuts, more than anybody else in the world. So kids, are you doing okay in there? Oh, look at that pollen you're getting there. That's pretty good. So Leith, show us, you get the pollen. Now what do you do?
The pollen we take and apply it to a tree. Now I have to go to a specific tree because each pollen is labeled and each tree has its own label, so you know what you're crossing it with, so we can get the correct pedigree on the varieties.
Show everybody what that number is.
This number is 61BH171. It is a selection we made 3 years ago. And it looks very promising. It makes it on our what we call our cream of the crop list, the good list we show growers every year.
171, by the way, is the number of feet down to that tree, right?
It was the 61st row in the Garrison block. It is the 8th planting of that section in the block, and it's 171 feet down the road.
Okay, go show us what you do. Now, when Leith first started here, she literally would go to Walmart, and she literally would buy every single mascara sponge that Walmart had, because that's exactly what they use. Look at the little mascara sponge. She'll take that sponge.
Eyeshadow sponge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
And then to pollinate, after we have had emasculated the tree, and all we've left is the pistil, the part that holds the seed, and then we'll go through and we'll put pollen on the bottom or on the top of every one of these pistils.
And you do that 3 times a year, right? On this tree?
On this tree, 3 times or more, depending on how fast the flowers come out. Because you don't want to do the flowers when they're in the very small stages, because the embryos aren't developed completely. You want to wait till they get to a bigger popcorn stage so that the embryo is developed, because once you damage the flower, you stop getting growth on the embryo.
That is amazing, the science behind all of this. And you've been able to cross so many things like a peach, an apricot, and a plum. What does that become?
Picatum.
That becomes a picatum. Across a cherry and a plum, what do you get?
Well, if you have the plum as the female parent, it's a pluary or a plum cherry.
Okay, that's what they're doing. By the way, one last question. What's the one thing your dad wanted to create that he didn't get to create?
He wants to create cherries that ripen through the whole season, not just the 6 weeks in the spring. We were trying to get cherries that ripen down in August and September here in the valley.
All right, that's what the Zeiger kids are going to be doing. They're still working on that. This is amazing down here. The fruit Imagineers are hard at work down here, here in Modesto. Hey, back to you guys.
Awesome.
Very nice, Michael, very nice.
I love the names, how they come up together, right?